So hey, it's Paul, and in today's video, I want to discuss a mindset that's extremely powerful, but it's also very hard to get yourself into that mindset. And this mindset is staying present. It's living in the now. And you've probably heard of this before. There's a really good book on this whole principle called The Power of Now. And you've probably heard of people say it to you before, stay present, stay in the present moment. Don't worry about the future. Don't think and dwell on the past. But what happens is this mindset is very powerful once you start to live in that mindset. But at the same time, it's probably one of the hardest things that I've ever done, and I'm sure you've ever done as well. But over the past few months, I've really had to practice becoming more present. And if you've followed the videos and you've been following me on the channel for a while now, you'll know why. Because obviously my brother, he had a really bad accident, a brain injury, a traumatic brain injury, and he's still in hospital recovering. But I've had to stay present because when his injury occurred, it was very much, with brain injuries, they can't tell you much. And he went from, life support to a coma to starting to recover slowly, but couldn't communicate, couldn't eat. And we always used to say, how's he going to be? Like, what's the outcome? How is he going to be in 6 months? How's he going to be in a year? And these doctors, they would never tell us how he was going to be, because obviously with a brain injury, they cannot, give you any idea in terms of how he is going to recover. So it really was a huge moment for me and my mum and everyone else dealing with it to stay present, because all we could do was concentrate on the now. This is how he is now. This is all we can do. This is all we can control. We can't control how he's going to potentially be, and we can't control the accident that's already occurred. But practicing staying present is difficult, and living your life in the now is very difficult. But I want to share with you a few ways that's helped me, and hopefully they can help you too. Now, before I actually discuss how you can stay more present, I want to remind you of how powerful and important it is. I always say that depression will typically come from you living in the past. So if you're feeling depressed, then it's typically because you're living in the past. You're thinking about moments that has caused some emotional trauma in the past. And these emotions that you're struggling to deal with in the present moment that are being caused by the past, you can't control. You can't change. You can't change the things that have happened to you. You can't change what you've done in the past. You can't change what you're feeling guilty of. And depression will normally stem from you living in the past, whereas anxiety and worry will typically come from you living in the future. So you're always thinking ahead. So it could be as simple as worrying about your job, worrying about your security, worrying about your wife or your girlfriend leaving you, worrying about your health further down the line. And you're living in the future, you're projecting the future, you're telling yourself stories and worries and worries and worries, and it's causing all this anxiety and stress. And again, you're living in the future. You cannot control the outcome. You cannot directly control the outcome. You can only indirectly control the outcome by living in the present and acting in the present. And when you understand that principle, it makes it so clear. Every moment that you live in life is the present moment. It's the now. If you want to make change, if you want to dress better, if you want to look better, if you want to lose weight, if you want to improve your relationship, if you want to improve your career, your business, everything has to be done in the present moment. And with all of that being said, we know how powerful the present moment is. We know how powerful living in the now can be. It can relieve a lot of depression. It can relieve a lot of worry, anxiety, and stress when you're actually living in the present moment. But how the hell do you do it? Because I understand this principle. I've read the books, I understand it, but it's very hard to do. It's very hard to live in the now moment. But what I've been doing recently, and this is my advice to you, is you have to remind yourself. Maybe it's not something that you do naturally. Maybe you're a big thinker, you're a big worrier. You feel like you've maybe done things wrong in the past, but you have to remind yourself to be present. You have to remind yourself to live in the present. And it's a simple shift in thought. You have to remind yourself of the now moment whenever you can. So as you're watching this video, listen to my voice. As you're seeing me, see me move my arms around, and then drift your eyes away and look around you. Start sensing what's around you. Breathe in and see what you can actually smell, and really get a picture of what's happening happening right in front of you right now. Not what's going to happen to you in the future, not what's happened to you in the past. Focus on what is happening to you right now. And it's a constant chase of reminding yourself. If you want to live more in the now, if you want to live more in the present, then you have to remind yourself if it doesn't come naturally. And I've found as time's gone on and I've kept reminding myself daily of living in the present, living in the now moment, it becomes a lot easier and you start to do it more naturally. I start to realize that I can't control anything that's happened to me in the past, or I can't control something that I've done. And at the same time, I know that the future isn't, it's out of my control directly, but I can make changes indirectly by putting things in place in the present moment. Now I'm going to link in the description to an article that I wrote that goes into a little bit more information, but this is a really important message. Live in the present more, live in the now more, but the way that you do it is you have to remind yourself daily. If you want to become a better version of yourself, if you want to make change, if you want to grow, if there's areas of your life that you're unhappy with, all of that change starts now. Be present, live in the now. Hopefully this message has helped you. If it has, let me know in the comments below. Share maybe what you've done to help yourself stay more present. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I'll see you all in a video very, very soon.